don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. All right. I just watched the first Last of Us episode, and I like how they're going to do this weekly, I assume. So I'm just going to do week for week. I'm going to attempt to. I mean, I'm pretty busy, so I'm going to attempt to. Okay, this starts out very well. I like how they got Jonathan, and you're always going to be Jonathan from The Mummy. It's amazing acting there, and it continues on. I've always enjoyed him in every role he plays, but he's always going to be Jonathan. It starts off with him. It's 1963 doing a news, or like a television review. They're interviewing scientists about what's a pandemic, what would be the true end of the world type of thing. And he brings up fungus and everyone starts laughing. And then he does because if you've ever seen like a documentary, or not a documentary, like a nature's weirdest type of, those yeah, it is a documentary, yeah, on the wildlife, nature itself. There's always have that report of the ant, the fungus who infects ants and climbs a tree, spreads spores, takes over other ants, and it's just, repetitive. And he kind of goes on talking about it. And I love the cinematography because as he's speaking, the crowd goes from giggling to stern, just smiles on their faces, to stern faces, to where the audience is completely mute. The interviewer is stunned, has to call for a break because here he's talking, and it just gets everyone uncomfortable as he's explaining, well, what happens when the world gets warmer? What happens with this fungus in order to fight to survive? What would it do? I loved it because it just reminded me of playing the game, and as you're walking around as Joel's daughter, on the background, on the TV, they have the documentary of the ant who's infected by fungus. So it was they just went more in depth with it, and I absolutely was okay with it. So those first few minutes sold the entire, not really, well, even the pacing, but honestly, those first few minutes were more exciting than kind of when they started, because they follow the daughter for the first 20 minutes after that interview, because it's 2003, and they follow the daughter. And just like in the game, you take her perspective, you play as her in the beginning. But they showed a little more. They showed her going shopping, robbing from her father to repair the watch, and she's honest about it. There was a creepy scene in there. It wasn't jump scare. I like how they're making it uncomfortable and creepy. They're not making it jump scare-ish yet, like most horrors. I like what they're doing, because as the girl, his daughter, goes to the neighbor's house to spend time with like the elderly couple there, and their mother, the mother's in a wheelchair, stuck there. And in the background, as she's looking at DVDs, they have her in focus, and in the background, it's blurred out, and the grandmother's in the chair. And all of a sudden, you see her. It was just absolutely creepy. It was just like, oh, you notice that, the background. You notice it, and it's just, sheesh. It looked bizarre and uncomfortable, and they never put attention. And then the next time you see grandmother, she's just stern-faced. It was well done. And the dog was, of course, staring uncomfortably at the grandmother. I liked it. I liked how that was done. And I gotta say, because most HBO shows are starting to go downhill. If you've seen Velma, you know what I mean. This one was actually well done, because the daughter is smart. She's intelligent. She knows more than her father, and they didn't play that off as her just being better than him. They played it off as, well, there's a chance for the next generation. I like that. I was okay with that. It was better than, oh, I know more than my father. My father's a moron. I'm gonna have to, that just doesn't feel right. So I liked what they did. I didn't mind that they gender swapped Joel, or race swap Joel. I am so confused, because they race and gender and whatever swap everyone, so that shut me off. Yeah, they did the same thing with his daughter, but I didn't mind, because it worked. As long as the characters are true to who they are in the game, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I will say, the world they built, post-apocalyptic, looked exactly like the game. Exactly, especially when they escape the city at the very end of the episode. It took me a while to come around on Ellie, because the first time they introduce her, I didn't care for that. It was very loud, very cursing, But the first time she interacts with Joel, immediately I was sold. I was sold on her as Ellie, because it just seemed to flow like Ellie. Ellie and Joel had a weird rapport in the beginning, and it worked that way. It's just like Ellie without Joel, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. And I liked how they went about it. Sure, it felt like they camped on it a little too long. They went campy with the city aspect of the lockdown type thing. They were very, but it was fine. It was fine. It was okay. It worked out in the end, especially to get to the very end of the episode and go like, oh my gosh, the bus, the fact that they're crawling under it, that's a shot directly from the game. A lot of it is from the game. But honestly, I don't remember Tara. Like, I played the game, and I know I'm not as huge a fan as everyone else, because I played it several years after it had come out. I'm not a huge fan of the game. I enjoyed the game. It was very well done, but it's not my favorite game. I have other games that are my favorite. But it's just one of those things that I don't remember Tara being there, because like I was kind of watching the post, like the later on The Last of Us. It seems like Tara's there the entire time. I thought she was there till they left the city, and then they get separated. I don't think she was there the entire time. I wonder if they're gonna camp on that to keep her there, just to keep her there. I don't know. Because I like the Joel Ellie dynamic. I don't want the Joel Ellie Tara dynamic, because I think it'll just feel weird. It'll feel weird. I don't have much else to say. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.